A lot of people moving to Jacksonville think living near the water automatically means living at the beach, but then once they get here, they realize some of the most sought-after neighborhoods are actually along the Intracoastal Waterway instead. And honestly, the lifestyle feels very different. You've got boating culture, marsh views, dolphins showing up behind people's homes, and neighborhoods that feel quieter and more residential than the actual beach communities. But then there are also things people don't always think about ahead of time, like flood insurance, bridge traffic, and maintenance from the salt air. So in this video, we're going to talk about what it's really like living near the Intracoastal in Jacksonville, including the lifestyle, the convenience, the pros, the trade-offs, and who this type of living actually fits best. One of the biggest reasons people move near the Intracoastal is the boating lifestyle. This entire area revolves around water access, and you feel that pretty quickly once you spend time there. A lot of homes have private docks, boat lifts, and direct access to deeper water, which means homeowners can leave straight from their backyard and head out toward the Intracoastal, the St. Johns River, or even the ocean, depending on where they're located. And even if someone doesn't own a boat, the water culture still becomes part of everyday life. You'll see people kayaking through the marshes, paddleboarding at sunset, or taking jet skis out on weekends because the water is generally calmer than the ocean side. Public boat ramps are also spread throughout the area, so access isn't limited only to waterfront homeowners. Another thing people really enjoy is dockside dining. There are restaurants and waterfront spots where people literally pull up by boat, grab dinner, and spend the evening near the water. Now, obviously, if someone has zero interest in boating or water activities, some of the appeal of this lifestyle won't matter as much. But then for people who genuinely want daily access to the water, the Intracoastal lifestyle is hard to replicate elsewhere in Jacksonville. And honestly, the natural scenery plays a huge role too. Living near the Intracoastal feels a lot more connected to nature than many people expect. The marsh views stretch for miles in some areas. Tides constantly change the scenery throughout the day, and wildlife becomes part of normal everyday life. It's common to see dolphins swimming through the water behind neighborhoods, manatees near docks during warmer months, and birds like herons and egrets throughout the marshes. And because many parts of the Intracoastal have slow-speed boating zones, the environment tends to stay quieter and calmer overall compared to more active waterways. A lot of homeowners talk about how peaceful the area feels in the evenings. You get sunsets reflecting over the marsh, boats moving slowly through the water, and a quieter atmosphere than you'd usually expect this close to Jacksonville's busiest areas. Now, obviously, not every part of the Intracoastal feels exactly the same. Some neighborhoods are more developed and upscale, while others feel older and more laid back. But the common theme is that the outdoor lifestyle becomes part of your normal routine. People spend more time outside because the environment naturally encourages it. And then what surprises many homeowners is how convenient these areas actually are despite feeling tucked away near the water. One of the biggest advantages of living near the Intracoastal is that you can feel separated from the busier parts of Jacksonville while still being close to everything. Most Intracoastal neighborhoods sit within about 5 to 10 minutes of Jacksonville Beach, Neptune Beach, or Atlantic Beach, depending on location. So homeowners get quick beach access without necessarily dealing with the constant traffic and activity of living directly at the beach itself. At the same time, roads like JTB and Beach Boulevard make it relatively easy to reach downtown Jacksonville, the St. John's Town Center, or places like Mayo Clinic. And so a lot of people end up viewing the Intracoastal as this middle ground between suburban living and coastal living. Neighborhood variety is another huge factor. You've got everything from luxury gated communities like Queens Harbor to older waterfront neighborhoods with larger lots and no HOA structure at all. Some homeowners want a highly maintained gated environment, while others prefer a quieter neighborhood with more flexibility and character. And because there's so much variety, the Intracoastal attracts a wide mix of homeowners, from retirees to professionals to boating enthusiasts. But then, and this part is important, living near the water also comes with realities people need to think through carefully. One thing people absolutely need to understand about Intracoastal living is that waterfront access comes with additional costs and responsibilities. A lot of homes sit within flood zones, which can impact insurance requirements and evacuation procedures during larger storms. Now, not every property has the same level of flood exposure, but it's something buyers need to evaluate carefully before purchasing. Insurance costs can also be noticeably higher compared to inland neighborhoods, especially once flood insurance and wind mitigation factors get involved. Then there's maintenance. Salt air is beautiful, but it's also rough on homes, cars, AC systems, outdoor furniture, and pretty much anything metal exposed to the environment long term. People relocating from inland states are often surprised by how quickly coastal conditions can wear things down. Bridge traffic is another practical reality. Drawbridges opening for larger boats can create delays during busy parts of the day, especially on routes people use regularly for commuting. Now, some homeowners don't mind any of that because the lifestyle outweighs the inconvenience for them, but then others realize they'd rather be near the water occasionally instead of living directly beside it full time. And that's why understanding who this lifestyle really fits matters so much. Living near the intracoastal tends to work best for people who genuinely want the water integrated into everyday life. If someone enjoys boating, fishing, paddleboarding, kayaking, outdoor dining near marinas, or just being around water constantly, this lifestyle can be incredibly rewarding. The scenery, slower pace, and connection to nature create an atmosphere that feels very different from inland suburban neighborhoods. At the same time, people who prioritize lower maintenance costs, lower insurance premiums, and quicker inland commutes may find themselves happier slightly further west. And honestly, neither choice is right or wrong. It really comes down to how much value someone places on being close to the water every single day. Because once you live near the intracoastal, the water stops feeling like an occasional activity and starts becoming part of your daily environment. So when it comes to living near the intracoastal in Jacksonville, the biggest thing to understand is that you're not just buying a home near the water, you're buying into a completely different lifestyle. The boating culture, the wildlife, the views, and the outdoor atmosphere create an experience that feels very unique compared to other parts of Jacksonville. But then it's also important to understand the trade-offs that come with it, because the right waterfront lifestyle really depends on how you want your everyday life to feel. And if you're seriously considering moving to Jacksonville and want help figuring out which neighborhoods fit your lifestyle best, just text me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.